Let's get started. So you will see that this class is an old school. I don't have a digital board yet.
Today there was a math test for us for math.
Okay.
And they I'm in fifth grade.
Uh-huh.
And they asked me like random questions. They asked me area and perimeter.
Uh-huh.
And area and perimeter with decimals. And I was like, what? I don't know. What are those?
Did you get it? Go make it crisp and to the point. We cannot discuss about things for long enough. So tell me, what is the summary of what you're trying to say? Did you do a good job or you did not?
I got a really good grade.
That is what I'm interested in.
I got 206.
200 of 6.
You at least have to get a 200.
Okay. Alright. That's good. Alright. Dikshita, you're saying something? Unmute and then talk. Otherwise, I would not be able to listen to you.
Sir, my math test goal was 216, but my score was 219.
That's good. And we'll keep working on getting it higher. Yes,
Did I
please.
get one question right? They keep on getting it harder.
Okay.
Some of
Pranit,
them, they don't even
okay. Limit the discussion to a minimum. Pranit, you're saying something. Please go ahead and then I'll start. Otherwise, I'll be wasting everybody's time.
My math test score, I got 220.
Okay. What was your target? You did not have a target. Anyways, all these are side talks. We will try limiting that to a minimum and we'll focus on what we're trying to learn. Okay? Everybody ready? Everybody had a sip of water? Wonderful. Let's get started. So today we are starting with geometry. And Praneet, no expressions needed. Calm down, stay calm, okay? It's okay. Nothing going wrong, okay? So we'll start with geometry and we will start with the most, Praneet, hands down. Right now it's only me talking, not everybody talking. Doesn't matter. I will do it 100 times so that everybody gets. Sohita, control your emotions. It's getting way too far. We don't need that much of discussion, okay? Now, pay attention to what I'm talking. Everybody, be mindful and respectful of everybody's time, okay? Now, calm down, everybody. So, here's the thing. We are going to talk about geometry. And geometry, when you say it is, Sohita, be on mute. I will tell you when to unmute yourself. I don't want to listen to what I'm not supposed to. Okay. So geometry, when we talk about, these are about the shapes that we see all around us. How does your teacher look like? Your teacher's face looks like a circle, isn't it? Kind of, yeah. So how does that car's wheel look like? It looks like a circle. How does this board look like? It looks like a rectangle. So everything that we see around us is a shape. And when you learn that in mathematical form, that is what is called geometry. Let's look at what are the different types of shapes that we see around us, okay? Everybody able to follow me so far, right? Sanvi, Jinab, Dikshita, everybody? Okay. Now, let's start. So if you have to count, how do you count? You count from 1, then you go to 2, then you go to 3, then you go to 4, then you go to 5, and that's how it goes on, correct? Everyone knows counting? Okay, so that is what we will do. Let's start with 1, meaning when I'm talking about something like this, it's a one thing. So right now I'm on 1. And Praneet, to your point, have we learned this before? Yes. Will we learn it again? Yes. Math is something that we keep learning things over and over again to make sure that we are Sohita, calm down with us. We don't need to be super excited because brain only works when you pay attention to things, okay? If you keep dancing, brain will stop working. So pay attention to what I'm saying. Right now we are seeing things which is mapping to one, okay? This is one line. This is one line segment. This is one ray. So all these people, who are not paying much attention to it, they will say all these are same thing. I would not. This is a line. Line is something which just shows a direction. It doesn't have a fixed length. It says that it can go in this direction or this direction. Let's say if I get playful and I keep drawing it, I'll end up coloring my wall because there is no fixed length. I might end up going to my neighbor's wall as well. This doesn't have a fixed length. This just shows you direction, okay, without any control to it. So if somebody says, here's the line of 10 centimeter length, you will say, no, this cannot be a line. This is piece of a line. It's a piece of a line. That is what is called a line segment. You have a starting point and you have an ending point, and you can measure the distance
between those two,
and that will be called a line segment. Okay, so the length only applies to things which are called line segment, not a line. Okay, I mean, by mistake we always say that this line is 2 centimeter long. That is not correct grammatically as per maths grammar. Okay, is that okay, everybody? So you will never say a line is 10 centimeter long or 20 centimeter long. It's always a piece of a line which is called a line segment. Yeah. Now what is this guy? So here, when you looked at line, there was no starting point or there was no ending point. It was just showing a direction both ways. Okay, and it can be as long as you can imagine. Yeah. Now, when you're looking at this piece, this is again, it's like you have taken a piece out of it and you're calling it a line segment. Now, what is this guy? Here, you have a starting point. So you're saying that it's starting from here and it can go as far in the other direction. This is called a ray. If you want to visualize that in real life, look at this. If I turn on the torch of my phone, if you look at how this light is traveling, starting from here, it can go as far depending on how powerful my torch is, right? So there's a ray coming out of my torch. So that is why it is called a ray.
Okay.
Yeah? Everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
What did you call it again?
Ray, R-A-Y. Yes, Janab.
Is it a ray or gray? Sorry, I didn't mean to raise my hand.
Okay. Whatever you call it, I have very strong accent. You guys can say it in American accent the way it is. The spelling is R-A-Y. I'll leave it for you guys to pronounce it the way you pronounce it. Yeah? Alright? Sanvi, does that make sense so far? So we looked at only things with one entity or one piece. This one is called line, which has only direction. This one is a piece of a line called line segment, and this is something which has that fixed point from where it's starting again, and it's going in other direction as far as you can think of. Would a ray have a fixed length? Would a ray have a fixed length? No, because on one side it is fixed, other side you don't know how far it can go. Correct? So only a line segment will have a length. Line is showing direction, ray is showing direction. Difference between line and ray is line showing two directions, ray is showing only one direction. That's it. Does that sound okay so far?
Yeah.
So we started with number 1. Now let's go to number 2. So we saw, what I will do is, right next to 1, I will put these symbols so that you guys can relate to it. Okay? We saw line segment and ray. Now let's go from 1 to 2. Yeah? After 1 we go to 2 only, right? Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Sanvi okay? Dikshita, Praneet, everybody? Janab, okay. Pujit, okay? Okay so far or not? You have to put on your glasses, otherwise you would not see what you are seeing. Okay, all right. Let's go from 1 to 2, and that is when we see this. Now we are seeing that it's an angle. So when two lines or line segments or rays meet at a point, they form a relationship called angle. Now what are the different types of angles we know about?
Acute, obtuse, and equilateral.
No, equilateral is a triangle. What are different types of angles you know? Yeah, Deekshita, go ahead.
Sir, I know a right angle.
Right angle. Okay, Praneeth, what else do you know?
I know a right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle.
Okay, I will add one more thing to your dictionary, that is called straight angle. Now let's look at it.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
That what is that?
I have one. I know acute angle.
Acute angle? What kind of angle is that?
Right angle and left angle.
Right, left angle. How about north and south angle?
There's no left angle actually.
Okay, so calm down everybody. Everybody calm down. See again, my only advice to all of you would be, we get tempted to talk, but whatever we talk, that should be relevant and important for people whom I'm talking to. Yeah? Otherwise, people will say, this child blabbers. Yeah? You don't want to blabber, right? Okay, so let's get started. Now, so what I said was, when two lines or line segments or rays meet at a point, let's just for the sake of simplicity, this is how I will visualize this. So I have these two line segments, let's say, they are meeting here, right? Now when you look at this versus this versus this versus this, what is happening? See, angle is nothing but the relationship between the lines when they are meeting, okay? If they are very close, this is a very small angle. If they are a little far, that is also having a name. If they are even farther, that has a name. Here, it looks like there is only one line, but actually there are two lines meeting this way, okay? Look at both my palms. If these are two lines, they are meeting to form a straight line. If the two lines meet to make a straight line, this is called straight angle. 100%. Don't even worry about it. Okay, nature's call, you don't have to stop.
Or you could just click this.
Teacher will talk, students will listen. Okay? Alright. So this is straight angle. See, I'm not saying that you guys cannot talk, but you will talk when it helps you clarify some doubts, not for disturbing the class. So let's be careful about it. So when the two lines meet to form a straight line, that is called a straight angle. When the two lines are very close, so angle is nothing but the relationship between the lines. Praneeth, hands down. You guys don't have to interrupt. Keep on interrupting me, okay? Hands down. I'll tell you when to talk. So when the lines are very close to each other, very close, that relationship between the line is called angle. So angle is very small. That's what we can say. Something that is small, what do we call that? We call it cute. I have a very cute child in the class, right? So when the angle is small, that is cute. So you will call it a cute angle. Yeah? When the angle is very small, it's a very small or a cute angle. You will call it a cute angle. Yeah? Now you will say this is getting a little weird. We are talking about subjective thing. Something is small. See, there is nothing called small. It's all relative, right? I'm smaller than somebody who is 6 feet tall. My age is smaller than somebody who is probably 60 years old. So it's a relative thing. I might be very old or very big for a 5-year-old child, right? So it's a relative term. Math doesn't give you any scope for assumptions. So let's do, okay, so for now something very small angle which is very small is called acute angle for now. Okay, let's move on. Now you guys look at the place where you are sitting and attending the class. What do you see? You have a wall, you have a floor, and then you have a wall. Correct? In your house, this is your floor, and then you have a wall here. Imagine if the wall is like this, it will fall on your head. Or if the wall is like this, it will fall on the next room. Yeah? On the neighbor's house. Meaning, if the wall is standing right next to each other like this seems right. That is why this is called a right angle. Right angle. Okay? When the angle is like the way your floor and the wall are aligned, that is looking right, and that is called right angle. In math, there is a number given to it, which is called 90 degree. So if you look at this floor and the wall here, this is making that angle 90 degree, and there is a tool for measuring that angle, which is called protractor. So I have it here. This is the tool that is used for measuring the angle. Okay. If I want to measure this angle, what will I do? This point where the two lines are meeting, I will put the center of this one. Okay. And see, this is okay. Sorry. This is meeting 90 degree. So this is 90 degree angle. If I am looking at a line here, this is 70 degree. This is 60 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree. Okay. So this tool you will use for measuring the angles. Okay. When the angle is exactly 90 degree, like the way your floor and the wall are aligned, this is called right angle. Now, this becomes your scale to measure. If your angle is smaller than 90, it's a small angle or acute angle. If the angle is more than 90, that is called obtuse angle. Yeah? So there are 4 types of angles we came across. Acute angle, when the angle is very small, when the lines are very close to each other, when it is making 90 degree, it's a right angle. When it is more than 90 degree, or when your wall is falling on your neighbor's wall, that is obtuse angle. Yeah? And when the wall has already fallen and became a straight line, that is straight angle. So the straight angle value is 180 degree. If you have a protractor at home, wonderful. If you don't have it, it's better to buy one. Okay, this is a very, very economical and a good tool that will help you, relating to math concepts. So if you look at this protractor, this straight line, this is making 180 degree. If I travel from here to here, it is 180 degree. Okay. Is everybody clear about all the 4 types of angles? You have one? Wonderful. Yes, Praneet, you are saying something. I'll give you
I have a
protector. Whom are you talking to? Mute button?
I also have protractor.
Protractor? Okay, wonderful. So, see, we need to have, these are the, see, you guys were small when you were playing with toys. You will go to Toys R Us or Walmart or Target and you will keep on buying toys. Okay. Now when you start growing up, these are the things that will become your toy, which you will play with. This is one of the toys. I'm not saying that you should not do anything else, but I'm saying this could be another toy that you will start playing with. Yeah? Yes, Pujit. Go ahead, tell me what you want to say. First unmute yourself, then only I can listen to you.
Sir, I don't understand. I don't understand it. A little. I don't understand.
Okay, so you will have to put one screen in the restroom because you went to the restroom. That's why you missed some of the things that I told. So I will repeat it, okay? So look at this. Let's say these 2 fingers are 2 lines, okay? And these 2 fingers are meeting. What is happening right now? It's very close. Now it's moving far, far, far. Okay? So when the way the lines are meeting, that is represented by a term called angle. Okay, when the lines are very close to each other, the angle is small, angle is becoming bigger, and then even bigger. Yeah, when the angle is very small, that is called acute angle. Acute angle. Yeah. Now, who is sharing the screen? Don't do that. Now look at this. What happened here is my angles are aligned such that it looks like the floor of my room and the wall. Okay, this is right. This is the right alignment. If the wall is like this, it will fall on your head. If the wall is like this, it will fall on the neighbor's wall. Yeah. So this is right. So this, when this is right, it is called right angle. Okay. And this has a value called 90 degree. Okay. That is what I was showing. There is a tool. Okay. When you talk to Grihita, she will explain you how you measure angles. Okay. This is a tool used. So now the summary of that is, if the angle is less than 90 degree, it's still considered small, acute angle. When the angle is 90 degree, that is right angle. When the angle is more than 90 degree, that is obtuse angle. And when the two lines are making up another straight line, that is called straight angle. Yeah. So what I will do is, I will put a small picture right next to number 2. So that way you guys can relate to it. Pujit, does that make sense?
Yes.
It does? Okay. So thankfully your teacher is still making a little bit sense. Okay, let's move on. So here number 2, when we talked about, this is my small angle, acute angle. Acute angle. Okay. This is 90 degree, this is right angle. Then when the lines are even farther, meaning the angle is greater than 90 degree, it is called obtuse angle. Okay. And then when the two lines are making another straight line, this is called right angle. What is that called, Mustafa? Straight angle. Okay, and the straight angle's value is 180 degree, which is almost double, not almost, it is double of your right angle basically. When you join two right angles, that will make a straight angle. Is that okay, everybody? Zainab, Deekshita? Okay. Alright. And everybody keep your mute button on. I will tell you when to unmute yourself. Okay? Because now we are going to get into something more interesting. We will talk about, after 2 comes what?
3.
That is when we will see there are 3 sides. See, in the case of angle, see here what happened, you had only one line segment and ray. Here you have 2 lines meeting each other that form the angle, and we learned about different types of angles that we know about. Now you have scenario where 3 sides are coming together and forming a closed shape. This is the first closed shape we are coming across, correct? Here it was open. You can walk from here and come out of this place. You can walk and come out. Nobody can stop you from going in and coming out. Yeah. This is the closed shape. Unless you have a door, you cannot enter.
No,
I mean, unless you are very good at gymnastics and you want to jump. Yeah. So this is the first closed shape that we come across, and this is called triangle. But what are different types of triangles you guys know about? There are many.
Equilateral, acute, obtuse. I think that's about it.
Okay, let's see what Praneeth says. Yeah, Praneeth, go ahead. So I heard 3 names. Okay, just be careful. I've heard equilateral, acute, and obtuse. Okay. Whoever is going to tell, you have to tell apart from these 3. Okay, so that we don't end up repeating. Yeah, Praneeth, go ahead. Praneeth, unmute yourself. If you talk to mute button, I would not know what you're saying.
Equilateral.
See, again you're repeating. What did I say? Equilateral, acute, and obtuse I've heard. You have to tell me the 4th one. Then,
a right triangle, a scalene triangle, and an isosceles one.
okay. Dikshita, let's see what Dikshita wants to say. Unmute yourself.
Sir, I don't know really what it's called, but I was going to ask, like, I was just going to ask if this is one of the triangles that we already have.
No, so there are 6 different types of triangles, okay? And I will give you guys a very good story that you can relate to. That is the reason why I am starting from 1, going to 2, and then going to 3. So that it becomes like a story for you guys. It remains in your mind as a concept, not as something, oh, I only remember 2 of them. It should not be like that. Sanvi, are you able to follow me better so far? 100%? Zainab, are you able to follow me so far better? Okay. Yes, Sohita, go ahead. I see you are in a hurry to say something. Go ahead, quick.
Is there a left triangle?
What triangle?
Left triangle?
There left triangle, right triangle, up triangle, down triangle, north triangle, south triangle. We'll not talk about them. Okay? Alright, you guys are getting very creative. Let's not worry about it. So, hereafter, so far we have only talked about line, segment, ray, and then angles. And we were very carefully understanding the property of these things. Why something is called acute angle, why something is called right angle, why something is called obtuse or straight angle. Similarly, before you jump onto any shape, it's very important for you to know the properties. Okay? Now let's say you guys wanted to do a math class. If I was the one who was teaching, let's say, sociology, would you come to me? No, right? You know a property that you are looking for. You had a very clear expectation in mind for which you wanted to join, right? So, you know me, I mean, you guys don't know much about me, but at least you know that, okay, this guy teaches a little bit of math. Okay? So that is my property. I'm sorry, Pam?
A lot about math.
A lot about math, okay. That a lot would be helpful only if I'm able to teach you guys a lot, okay? So allow me to teach. Okay, now here, same way, if I'm talking about the shape, geometry tells us to, everybody hands down, Geometry helps us decode what is all about that shape. Now let's stare this shape for 2 seconds. What do you see here? Okay, we are calling it triangle, okay? Okay, acceptable. Now, what do you see here? You see this is one side, this is second side, and this is third side. Is that all about this triangle?
Yes.
No. You see these 2 sides are meeting somewhere and making one angle here. These 2 sides are meeting here, making another angle here. These 2 sides are meeting and making another angle here. So, if you talk about human body, if you say that human body has only 2 hands, what about legs? What about the head? What about the entire body? Right? Similarly, if you look at the body of this shape, what you are seeing is it has 1, 2, 3 sides and 1, 2, 3 angles. Now you are probably, Praneeth, I will not let you guys talk in between, okay? Hands down, hands down, hands down, hands down. Because see, if I engage into a discussion, Pujit, keep your video on, Sohita, keep your video on. And if I keep engaging in discussion in between, I will lose my chain of thoughts. If there's a doubt, I'll answer that, but please hold your horses. We're not dealing with wild horses here, okay? Alright. Okay, let's see what is your question. Praneeth, go ahead. You have 10 seconds.
I have a question at stake. You said earlier that everything we see around us is a shape, right?
Uh-huh.
So that means it's a shape called brain. That is the shape called graph.
So you are too young to talk about it. Because there will be shape called Biren, there will be a shape called Praneeth, there will be a shape called Mustafa, there will be a shape called Sanvi, Zainab, Everybody, okay? When we talk about three-dimensional objects, right now we're talking about two-dimensional objects. So let's not jump the gun. You guys have just started your math journey, okay? But if I made a statement, yes, everything that we see around us is a shape, is an object. We'll talk about that in detail. Don't rush. Take it one thing at a time. Is that okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now when we look at this triangle, we see one side, two sides, three sides, one angle, two angle, three angle. So this constitutes all the parts that you see with a triangle. Okay? Meaning three angles and three sides. Okay? And this becomes your criteria for deriving what are different types of triangles that you will deal with. Now, so you can have triangles based on sides or based on angles. That is my story that I wanted to stitch for you guys. So, I can describe my triangles based on two things. One is based on sides and one is based on angles. Yeah? Now, if you are looking at it based on sides, you are talking about a triangle with all the three sides being same length, a triangle with two sides of same length, and a triangle with none of the sides matching to each other. When all the sides are equal, all the sides are equal length. Let's say this is 5 centimeter, this is 5 centimeter, this is 5 centimeter. Okay? Equilateral. All sides equal, equilateral triangle. Does that sound
Makes
okay?
sense.
Yeah? And lot of words are borrowed from Greek. Okay? So, equi is a word borrowed from the Greek literature which stands for equal. Okay? So, equilateral. Lateral again, lateral stands for sides. When people say, let's have a bilateral discussion, meaning two people are talking. Okay? Two-sided discussion. Similarly, here equilateral stands for a triangle when all the three sides of a triangle are same. Does that sound okay, Sinab? Yeah? Dikshita, okay? Savita, Praneeth? Praneeth is already dancing, I can see her dance, okay?
Could we do tic-tac-toe at the end of the class if we have time?
Why tic-tac-toe? Tic-tac-toe we'll do when we're doing calculation. Right now we're learning properties, okay? Alright? See, tic-tac-toe you'll keep on dealing with for the rest of your life. Why? Because whenever we learn property and then we start doing calculation, we'll end up doing tic-tac-toe. And now Mustafa is thinking, what is tic-tac-toe? Tic-tac-toe is a very interesting technique for simplifying calculation that we do in a more playful way. So you'll see that, don't worry about it.
Oh, could we do a playful way something?
Is this very serious right now?
Oh.
Okay, we'll have, see again, when you want to build a house, you need to build a strong base. We are building the base right now, and then we'll build a house, okay? And then we'll live inside the house to enjoy the house, okay? So let's not worry about it. Let's go step by step. So when you have a triangle with all the three sides same, that is equilateral triangle. This is the one scenario, first scenario of a triangle based on side. This is a scenario where I have two sides of same length and this guy is an outlier. This is called isosceles triangle. I'm not sure if I put the spelling right, but yeah. This is called isosceles triangle where you have two sides equal and third side doesn't want to stay with the same length. And this is called scalene triangle when all the three sides, we are not talking about angles here because we are categorizing the triangle based on sides. We are only talking about sides right now, okay? When all the three sides are same, equilateral. When only two sides same, isosceles. When none of the sides same, scalene. So we saw three varieties of triangle based on sides. Sanvi, is it making sense, beta? Yeah? Dikshita, okay? Pujit, is it making sense right now? Yeah? Because if you come back to me after 10 minutes saying that, oh, I did not understand, then I will start struggling. Okay. So, we saw that if you want to look at, you can see there's a magic trick. There's a magic trick for that. Disconnect and join.
Okay.
Alright. So, we saw that if you look at a triangle, triangle has two key things that you want to be aware of. One is sides, one is angles. Okay, 3 sides, 3 angles. And then, if you look at the triangle, keep disconnecting, joining, because don't have to talk about it. I have no other solution.
I did it again.
Do it 5 times till you are able to see it. Okay? Because everybody else can see it. There's nothing that I can do from here, right? Okay. So, when we look at it based on side, we saw 3 varieties of it. Now, when you look at it from based on angles, can you see it now?
I still can't see it.
So, everybody else can see it. So, there is something, see, I have seen that as a problem for some of the kids. Whenever you are not able to see it, it could be because of some problem at your end with the internet. Disconnect and join, that's the only trick. You don't have to keep trying. I mean, you have to keep trying, okay? So, here, now comes angle. And if you look at it carefully, we have seen acute angle, right angle and obtuse angle. This becomes your base for categorizing the triangle based on angles. If I have a triangle, all the 3 angles, if you see, if they are all angles are smaller than 90 degree or all the angles are acute angle, it is acute angle triangle. Okay? If one of the angle is 90 degree, that is, it has a right angle here. So this is called right angle triangle. When one of the angle is more than 90 degree, meaning it has an obtuse angle. So this is called obtuse angle triangle. Okay. So this becomes your story, okay. Now, Praneeth, you said that you have learned geometry in the past, and I mean you have learned this thing in the past. My expectation from you guys is, if you have learned this, don't give me all scattered answer. Give me like a story, because story stays with us longer, okay? Next time, if any of you are doing geometry again and if you claim that you know about it, you will not give me all scattered information. You will say, you know what, if you ask me what are different types of triangles, triangles can be categorized based on 2 categories. One is based on sides, one is based on angles. If you are looking at sides, you have 3 types of triangles: equilateral, isosceles and scalene. If you are looking at it based on angles, you have acute angle triangle, right angle triangle and obtuse angle triangle. Does it make sense to everybody or not?
It makes sense to me.
Yeah?
Now I can see it, sir.
I'm sorry, sir?
Now I can see it.
See? So,
Now I also got it.
you also got it. So, if you guys got it, then my only request or recommendation to you guys is, next time when we come back and if I say, okay, tell me what are different types of triangles, you will not give me all scattered answer. You will give me like a story so that stays with me. You guys are young, your brains are much sharper. I'm getting old. I forget things. Okay? So you have to tell me the way I understand. Alright? And see again, jokes apart, the fact is this. If you explain it this way, people would retain it. If you say, okay, what are different types? Isosceles, scalene, equilateral, and obtuse angle and right angle. I will get the names, but I will not make any head or tail out of it. I cannot relate to it. Yeah? This is what is called concept. Everybody clear so far? Okay. Now, so we go from 2 to 3. We went from 2 to 3. And now you guys must be thinking that, okay, will we just keep learning about the property of the shapes? No. We are learning the property of the shapes and then we learn how do we deal with them. We learn about how do you find out this shape versus this shape. What is the difference? Both are, let's say, rectangle or square. What is the difference between them? This takes more space, this takes less space.
One is bigger than
This needs more area. This needs less area. How do we calculate that? All that will decode. So right now we are focusing on making sure that we are crystal clear about the properties, and then we will relate to those properties and decode every other thing that we need to figure out. Yeah? What happened, Praneeth? You want to bite me getting inside the screen? I'm seeing your big teeth coming closer to me. Okay, here. So we saw that. Okay, so we saw this thing here. What I'm doing is I'm making a rectangle here. This is sides. This is angles. And why I'm doing that is because when you watch the video, you will have something for your reference, which you can relate to. So here, based on side, you have equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. Yeah. When you are looking at based on angles, you have acute angle triangle, right angle triangle, and obtuse angle triangle. Yeah. Now we went from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. After 3 comes 7.
No, it's
No? 4? Okay. Okay. So this is where we will talk about the shapes which belong to a family called quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. And again it's a Greek word. Quad is a word borrowed from Greek literature which stands for 4.
Squad.
What is that?
Squad. That's what my teacher said.
Okay. So anyways, we don't have to. What is that? Say it one more time.
It's in the quad family.
Okay.
Where is the king of quadrilateral?
Yeah. So quadrilateral is a family of shapes which has 4 sides. Be on mute, Saita. Okay. So what are the different shapes? We know about this. We know about this. We know about this. We know about this. We know about, this, and we know about this. Okay?
quadrilaterals.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like we saw that there are 6 types of triangles, there are 6 types of quadrilaterals also. All these are belonging to the same family called quadrilaterals. Okay? So Ita, put that shiny thing down. Here, these are 6 shapes which are part of the same family. Now, what we have 3, 6, 7 kids in the class. Everybody gets to talk about one shape. Tell me what is this shape?
Rectangle.
Rectangle? Okay, so
Rectangle.
okay, I heard rectangle. So now, Dikshita, tell me what is about this shape. What is this shape called?
Square.
Square. Praneeth, tell. Okay, and whoever is answering that, you guys are the ones who are going to describe about these shapes. Okay.
Can I tell the
I will call out the names. I'll call out the names, and then I will put you guys in trouble. Okay. I'll make you guys describe those shapes, describe the property of those shapes. Okay. Otherwise, just giving the name doesn't go anywhere. So, Praneeth, what is this one called?
rhombus?
Rhombus?
No, that's a parallelogram.
Parallelogram. So now, Praneeth, do you know why we are doing it again? What is this one called? Anybody? Janab, Sanvi, Puri.
Rhombus.
So Ita, you're not the only one in the class. Everybody has to speak. So,
Rhombus.
Praneeth, you're also not the only one in the class. When I asked you this one to answer, you gave me an answer which was not right. No, guys, be on mute. No, let's make sure that everybody gets to participate. Okay. So this one, Pujit, what is this one?
A rhombus?
Rhombus. Okay. I will give you guys two options: rhombus, and some of you also call it diamond. Okay. And then what is this one called? Shweta, you are mute. What is this one called? Who knows about it? Sanvi? Shweta? Do I have to repeat myself so many times? No, right? No, guys, make sure that everybody gets to participate. Zainab, do you know better what is this one?
Maybe a diamond.
Diamond is this one, better, okay? This is, I have not done a great job with drawing. Let me try doing a better job this time. Okay?
Can't see that one very well.
This one, okay. This one is called kite, okay? This is the time of the year when you'll see that people fly, a small thing made of, paper, and then they stick, join it with the string, and they fly it in the sky, okay? Everywhere. It's called kite. And this one is called, who tells me this one? So, Sanvi, have you seen this one before, beta? This shape? No?
Trapezoid.
Trapezoid. Okay, so here, trapezoid. Now, all you guys know the name of these shapes. You guys know the name of the shapes, which is a good starting point. But life is not so easy. Trapezoid or trapezium. Now, who will describe what is a parallelogram? Okay, let's start from here sequentially. This is a rectangle, right? Who can tell me about rectangle? Let's assume that your teacher doesn't know about rectangle, and I'm a 5-year-old child who is wanting to learn about it. Tell me, how will you explain that to me? Okay, go ahead.
A rectangle has 4 sides, which each are 90 degrees, making it a right angle.
Uh-huh.
And all the angles combined add up to 360 degrees, making it a full circle.
You don't have to say make it full circle, but yeah, all 4 angles add up to make it 360 degrees. Okay, anything else that you want to add? No? Okay. Now, okay. So let's say Diksha. Diksha, tell me about square, beta. Tell me what you know about square. Unmute yourself. You should talk to the mute button.
So, I know a square, like a square, all sides of it are equal, and squares are the king of like the quadrilateral family, and you can make a square like any way, but every side has to be like equal, and a square is part of the rectangle family.
A square is a square. I will not say part of rectangle family. It has something in common with rectangle, but not part of the rectangle family, I would say. Okay. Let's see what Zainab wants to say. Zainab, you have raised your hand. Tell me which one you want to talk about.
Can I talk about the rhombus?
Yeah, please.
A rhombus is also called a diamond. It's kind of a square, but it's kind of like kind of like sideways. It's it looks similar to a kite.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what Sohita wants to say. Sohita, pick one shape that you want to describe.
Could I hear the parallelogram?
Go ahead.
There's a definition about a parallelogram, what we learned in school. A parallelogram is just it's a
Okay, let's see what Praneeth wants to talk about.
I'll use the kite. For the kite, there are two pairs of parallel. The two sides are similar, and the other two sides are similar. There is obtuse and acute angles, and it's quadrilateral. And it's called a kite.
And you said there are two sides which are parallel? Okay. Now, I will say one thing, that whatever you guys told me, that could be a good starting point, but there's much more to it. Now, let's start from rectangle. Let me do one thing. Let me tell you guys about one thing that we did not talk about, and then we'll come back to these shapes. So, you guys saw that when there are two lines meeting at a small, when they are meeting very close to each other, that's a small angle called acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle. Praneeth, calm down. No, come on. That's not right, okay? What if the lines don't meet? What do we do? I can have a situation when the lines are meeting this way, whatever way. But what about this? When they're not meeting? They are called parallel lines. Meaning, if I keep on drawing this line the same way, color the whole wall, go to my neighbor's house, cross the street, go to the next street, following street, main road, but they will not meet. Because they are called parallel lines. This is like a railway track that you guys would have seen. They don't meet. Or, in other words, the distance between the two lines remain the same. See here, these lines are meeting because see here the distance is this much, distance is reducing. And that is how they end up meeting here. Yeah? Here the distance between the two lines remains the same throughout. No matter how much you extend them. Sarita, hands down. Hands down.
Okay.
Now see again, I remember one thing. It is a 1 hour class. Every minute that we waste is a waste which reduces the time of the class. So we have to be very respectful of the time, okay? Now, when we talk about parallel lines, we are talking about a pair of lines which doesn't meet. Kian, you have 5 more minutes, okay? So,
Okay.
the distance, so when we call them parallel lines, when they don't meet, no matter how far you extend them. Or in other words, the distance between the two lines remain the same throughout. Here the distance is changing, here it's not. These are called parallel lines. Okay? Now, this information is needed. That's why I wanted to talk about this. Now let's go back to quadrilateral. We will not be able to talk about all the quadrilaterals in the class today. We'll start with one. Okay? So the first one was a rectangle. You guys told me that it has 4 sides, 4 vertices, all angles 90 degrees. But that holds true. 4 sides, 4 angles, 4 vertices, that holds true for each and every member of the quadrilateral family. You pick up trapezoid, same thing. You pick up kite, same thing. So we'll not talk about that. What is specific about rectangle is, it has all the 4 angles 90 degree. Okay? All the 4 are 90 degree. And the opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. This side and this side's length will be same. And they'll be parallel to each other. They will not meet ever. Okay? Similarly, this side and this side will be equal and parallel to each other. So if I have to describe a rectangle in 3 or 4 lines, I will say rectangle is part of the quadrilateral family where every angle is 90 degree and the opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. Nothing more is needed. You guys were taking me to places that has 4 vertices, 4 angles. I am not looking for that. As soon as we say quadrilateral, we are talking about shape with 4 sides which will have 4 angles and 4 sides. You don't even have to talk about it. That's not a very useful information. Yeah? So rectangle's key property is opposite sides are equal and parallel, meaning these two sides will never meet if you extend them. These two sides are equal and parallel, they will never meet, and every angle is 90 degrees. That is your rectangle. Now let's look at square. If you are talking about square, Dikshita, you were saying that's part of rectangle family. I will say this looks like a rectangle, but it has nothing to do with rectangle. I mean, as a family, okay? A square is another quadrilateral where all the sides are same length. In case of rectangle, we saw the opposite sides are equal and parallel. Only the opposite sides were equal. In case of a square, all sides are equal and every angle is 90 degrees. That's it. If you do this much, if you describe that much, that is enough. A square is part of the quadrilateral family where all the sides are of same length and every angle is 90 degrees. Done deal. Nothing more. So, Icha, we'll start your class in 2 minutes, okay? Sidhu, we're just wrapping up the class for younger ones. Okay? So, we talked about square and rectangles property, and we'll talk about remaining shapes in the next class. And again, nobody will talk about any shapes having 4 corners, 4 sides. That is not something that we want to talk about. That doesn't describe about it, okay? If you're talking about me and you'll say, Mr. Dhiren Kumar, his property is he's a 6 feet tall guy with long hair, people will laugh at you because that doesn't describe me. Okay? So that is all about what we wanted to learn today, and then we'll continue with this journey in the next class as well. Alright? With that being said, I'll let you guys go and we'll meet again